already there before he came along. But it was difficult because colonoscopy required people to go in a very difficult manner. But he came up with a colonoscopic polypectomy. Means that you can view inside. They knew how to view inside. He came up with a way of viewing and operating inside without having to do incision. Previously, you had to cut open, go in, open the colon, do work on it, stitch it back and all that. Now he says he just sends something up the wrong way. He can view, he can cut the polyp, and then he can remove the situation without too much work. So he founded that in 1969. And in 1971, he did the surgical endoscopy. That's the operation portion of it. Okay? Because we always tend to misrepresent him. We say he's the father of colonoscopy. No, that's not true. Okay? He's the father of how to view inside the colon and how to operate in that. So if you look at the book, the agenda is this. Right? The first page agenda, it shows the enzyme factor, enzyme channel. It's actually that. This is how I review books. Whenever I pick up a book to read, I open up PowerPoint and I take note of all the components. And then I read each chapter. Each chapter is a slide by itself, and I take the key information into the slide. So it's a simple way of me to learn, because when I learn to teach, I learn better. Okay? So we'll cover all of this very briefly. So the enzyme factor, the key to life's code. Dr. Shinya believes that enzymes are very important in our body because it's a protein, protein catalyst that's made of living cells. It's produced in our body, right? It assists in synthesis and decomposition, not just the creation of cells, but the decomposition of cells that's supposed to be cleared from the body. There are certain types of enzyme that is used for certain jobs. It's used for transportation in your blood, in your cells. It's used for excretion to take up toxin. It's for detoxification. And it also supplies energy to the right place. So like protein, you need peptic enzyme to break it down. Okay, for carbohydrate, you need the amylase enzyme in your mouth to actually break it down. That's why, further down in the book, you find that Dr. Shinya talks about chewing your food. We'll come to that in a while. So, there's more than 5,000 types of enzyme in our body. Okay? More than 90% of it is created by the body. But there are certain ones that your body cannot synthesize. So you have to get it from plants and also from fruits and meat. Okay? So in the case of amylase, is the one that breaks down carbohydrate. It's in your saliva. It's found nowhere else in your body. So that's why Dr. Shinya said whenever you eat anything that's carbohydrate, chew longer. Let your saliva mix into it. I know it sounds yucky, but then hey, you need to put more of this amylase so that it breaks down the carbohydrate before it goes in. Because once it passes the point of no return, your throat, there's no more enzymes of amylase will be created elsewhere, because amylase is alkaline in nature. The minute it goes down the track, it becomes acidic. Amylase will not survive there. Okay? So pepsin is a protein enzyme. It's in your gastric. It's inside. So meat should always go last in his point of view. So when you eat food, eat carbohydrate first, send your meat last. That's why you see some people in this book, The Liver Cleansing Diet, there's another book that Charlene bought for me to read because of my liver situation a long time ago. We find that some people tend to eat vegetables first, meat last. That's why they say meat don't take too much, right? Because it takes a lot to break it down. Lactase is another enzyme that breaks down milk, the lactose in your milk. So some people don't have that. That's why they have become lactose intolerant, because they lack that enzyme. The body doesn't produce enough. They have reaction to this lactose acid. Okay. So on page 33, Dr. Shinya says that all of us, if we have to produce 5,000 of these enzymes, how many do I need to know that I create for this one type, and how much do I create for the other type? We never know, because you may need a certain enzyme. For people like me who used to drink a lot, we need a certain enzyme to break down alcohol. But because I consume a lot of alcohol, if I don't produce enough of the enzyme, I can't break down the alcohol. So how do your body know which to create? It doesn't. So what it does is it creates a blueprint source enzyme in abundance. Right? It's unspecialized prototype enzyme. Basically, it's a basic. Then later, when the body needs it, it converts that into either amylase or pepsin or lactase when it's required. Okay? We believe the potential to become any type of enzyme here is also limited to the ones that your body can synthesize. The ones that are not found in your body, you consume food, too bad, you have to eat more of that. That's why we take certain supplements for those kind of enzymes. Probiotics basically is what we're talking about. So it's also a biocatalyst of this enzyme to repairing our body. So he believes that this enzyme, another doctor, I forget his name, it's also in around page 33, he says the enzyme potential in the body. He believes there's a predetermined fixed amount that our body creates in a lifetime. Once it creates its maximum, we die. That's the theory so far. It's being proven. So far there are a few doctors that believes in this. So it's getting close to a confirmation to it. Okay? So it says when the potential is exhausted, the body's life ends. So in his book here, he's teaching us how to protect this source enzyme, how to protect the creation, the over-creation of source enzyme too quickly. Because when you use too quick, your life ends younger. Okay? That's what he's saying in the book. So it says enzyme in your health, a misconception and vital truths. Common myth about food, that's on page 10. Eat yogurt every day improves digestion. Okay? The Indians believe that. The Western people believe that up to a certain time now. They are saying, hey, yogurt is actually not too good if you take too much of it. Some people, they think that after I take antibiotics, when I finish my antibiotics time, I should take a lot of yogurt to rebuild all those bacteria in the tummy. Some people take lactobacillus, they call it. Some of these enzymes need to be created by swallowing it. Like lactobacillus, they call it. This is actually found in animal stomach. So they take it, they clean it, and they can swallow it, take it in, because it can't be found in us. It's found in other type of animals. Okay? Here it says drinking milk every day. Drink milk every day to avoid calcium deficiency. Depends again. Some people don't need too much calcium in the body because they already have enough. So by you consuming high amounts of milk, you trick your body to think that too much calcium is coming out. What your body does, it lets go of calcium from the bones. It says too much is coming in, I'm going to synthesize it, I better get rid of some from the bones because I'm going to build that back in. What happens? Your body cannot absorb it. So, it's just like before the truck comes, you say, I got to clear this room. Right? Because I got too many things in this room. I clear it out. The truck arrives, hey, I can't take it to the lift. What happens? The room is now empty. That's what's happening with our bones. Osteoporosis kicks in when your body cannot synthesize that calcium type that is low quality or whatever. It cannot synthesize and build back your bones. Your bones has already released that calcium in preparation for an overdose of calcium. That's how osteoporosis happens in what he says over here. So if you read that in the book, you'll see. You want to add?
There are a lot of products out there. There are a lot of costs that ask you. Alpine also can, diamond also can. Now, this is the fact that you have to remember about the calcium. About entering the room, the truck comes, but you cannot assimilate that kind of calcium. So when you do the test inside Alpine and diamond, especially if it's a new machine, it will come out blue. But I can guarantee you after that, it will turn yellow. Why? Because filtered water is acidic by nature. You have to explain and educate your prospect. Not all calcium can be assimilated into our system. So a lot of mineral water out there, the cheap ones, sometimes when you doing tests, it turns out blue. That's because there is calcium in it. Okay, the cheap kind of calcium. You can go and get the coral, ground it into powder, throw in it, and after that, it will turn blue. If we have certain sachets that we show that, like for example, the mineral water turned out yellow, we pour a bit of the calcium deposits, it turns out blue. So you have to explain to your prospects.
The calcium that's available in our Kangen water comes from the tap source. We do not add calcium to it. There's no resin filter in there that's putting calcium back into the water. We do have a certain area on the top of our Kangen device, above the electrolysis chamber, you can put calcium deposits in there. That's only for countries where the water is too soft. There's no minerals in it at all. That's when you use that. That's why in most Asia we don't use it at all. Now we learn the hard way. When you take it and throw it away, you're going to have problems also. Water will come out from there. Okay, because there's one time we went somewhere to say we're not using the electrolysis enhancer, we want to reduce the weight. We took the two things out, right? We went to a room, we turned on the machine, water spit out from that hole.
Like a baby's pee.
Okay, that was very graphic. You get your daily vitamin supplements that you need. Okay, these are some of these vitamins that you get. They believe that you should get it through supplements. Now you must understand, certain supplements that are really costly, they are really good quality. Probiotics are very expensive for a reason, because they are really good. Your body can assimilate them. But if you go and buy cheap calcium, cheap iron and all that, your body cannot absorb it. When it cannot absorb it, you have to get rid of it. To get rid of it, you need certain type of enzyme to break it down to get rid of it, right? If that's not found, what happens? It builds up in your body. So calcification in your blood, in your bloodstream or in your bones, means you have deficiency in your body of a certain supplement to get rid of excessive calcium. Okay? It says here, don't eat carbohydrates to avoid gaining weight. I also believe this is rubbish. Why? I'm the biggest consumer of carbohydrate, I believe, right, in my whole family. Right? In a sitting of lunch or dinner, I can finish 6 to 8 bowls of rice. Isn't that carbohydrate? Okay, if you put a whole bowl of pasta in front of me, I can finish it, plus more pizza and all that. Right? I eat a lot of carbohydrates, but I don't gain weight from carbohydrates. Okay, I gain weight for eating at the wrong times. Okay, so carbohydrates, if you chew it enough, your amylase breaks it down enough, your body can assimilate what it needs and get rid of the rest. Okay, if you are lack of amylase, then your body take the carbohydrate, it cannot get rid of it because you need the amylase to break it down to get rid of it. What happens? It builds it up into fat. Okay? So people who swallow carbohydrate, don't chew enough, don't put enough saliva around that, that's when you gain weight.
It's about the calcium. But Kangen water takes calcium from the taps also.
In our tap water, there's a lot of minerals, right? So that's the one that's going into Kangen machine. Now Kangen machine has negative electric, positive nodes. To get negative water, what it does, you use positive node to pull that negative water out, right? That positive also pulls calcium and all the other minerals with it into this area. That's why you get a high amount of it in the water. The 60% of water that comes up through the top spout has high amounts of the minerals. The one that comes up from bottom, all the minerals are not there. That's why it's naturally alkaline. Okay? Maintain a high protein diet. They say maintain a high protein diet in order to build your muscles. I've seen people who take a lot of meat, right? Their muscles build for a while. The minute they stop taking meat and they stop exercising and stop taking all those protein enhancers, it gets small. My second brother, he's a big follower of Arnold Schwarzenegger, building body. Now he's 40 years old, 42 years old. He's got breasts. He used to build it up very nicely, right? He has to maintain it. If you look at the diets of all these people who build muscles, after a certain time, they stop taking this protein. They start taking more vegetables and green to hold that protein in their muscles, because if not, it starts breaking down. So it says here, maintain a high protein diet. Make sure you have a good balance of something else to hold that. If not, it's going to be going to waste also. So if you have to read this portion, it's all within page 10 to page 13, right? Drink Japanese green tea for high antioxidant. It's true. But in this book here, it says too much of that is also bad for you. Because with green tea comes other components in the green tea. Okay?
How much is too much?
It's very hard to say that. Some people can break it down easily, some cannot. So let's just give an example. How much is too much rice? To you can say 2 bowls is too much. For me, 6 bowls is too much. Again, it's very hard. How does your body assimilate this? Your enzyme, how does your 5,000 enzyme builds up in the body that breaks down this item is very important. If you lack the enzyme, then don't take that component that enzyme is supposed to help you with.
Okay, one very good aspect about how individual body works is you have to look at the urine axis. Every body is different. If you drink 1 cup of tea, that tea will be yellow, the second tea will be fine, third tea will be fine. There are some people like me, when I drink a cup of tea, and then at least three entrance to the toilet, there will be a light yellow. There's a yellow deposit into it. It's just that I take longer time to break down things. So it is up to people to take note of certain things that God has given you, which are little yardstick in which you can look. Like for example, I take a glass of Chardonnay, for example. Sometimes I come back 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I take it at 12, and I open my mouth and say, you know, I cannot break down these things easier. So I know that I have to give it myself, you know, maybe half a glass, you know. So you have to take note of the signs when you go to the toilet. Some guys, no problem, you can take. Actually, guys can have more tea, more alcohol compared to women, as we know already, because their liver is bigger in size and they are able to get the oxygen is much easier, you know, compared to women. So these are little signs that you can look for when you're feeling disease, you know, when you're taking to see whether what is enough, and either that you can have some of
Just quick.
You talk about urine, explain and elaborate about disease.
Okay, feces would be things like when it comes to meat or your diet. Like for example, some people say, oh, I drink Kangen water. Oh, I have no more constipation. Wow, that's great because I'm still struggling with it. You know what I mean? So again, there is also a testimony once a month at Ruby there. There's this lady from Malaysia who came. It took her 6 months of drinking Kangen water, finally the constipation is gone. So again, your body has a lot of toxin. It takes you to go through a longer period of time of drinking Kangen water before that effect will take you. My maid, happy. Ever since I work for you, Mom, I'm very happy because I drink 1 glass, I can go toilet. I look at her and go, shit. You know, so again, I do know that my liver has problem. I can't really, you know, assimilate things, and overall there's too much toxin. So I always look at the drinking of the water. People say 2 liters for you because it's 60 kilos. I have to drink more because I know. Sometimes I think 3 liters is just bare minimum. I still can't go toilet. So I may have to drink 1 more liter and then I will have no problem.
So just coming back to an example where you were saying alcohol. Some people drink alcohol, turn red. Some don't turn red at all, like me. I can drink until I'm so drunk I can drive home. The police officer look at me, hello Encik, he let me go. Okay? Yeah, some people they don't have that. Yeah? It's because you have a certain enzyme that starts breaking it up faster. So it hits you faster. In some people the enzyme is not there, but it's produced when you sleep, because it's when your liver and your kidney goes to work. That's only when the cleaning happens. So some people they when they get red, it's because they have very good blood circulation. And the blood circulation happens, the enzyme kicks in. So these are certain things that it's because of the enzymes in our body behaving in a certain manner. It doesn't behave the same way in everybody. Okay? The last one here, boil tap water to remove chlorine. It is a true fact that when you boil water, chlorine is gone. But at the same time, you kill everything else in it. Because if you look at that metal piece that's there that's heating at that heating element, after a while white calcium builds on it. If you leave it too long, it turns greenish because the calcium starts eating into the copper, right? So it says here, the myth about that is, yes, you can. There are many other ways to remove chlorine. For instance, leaving it overnight. That's how I used to put it in my aquarium. Leave the water overnight, the next day you can use it for a fish, the fish won't die. So there are many other ways to remove chlorine. But if you are boiling water just to remove chlorine, you are doing it the wrong way. That's what he's saying in this book. Okay? Eating meat will not give you stamina. He used the examples of animals in safari, right? The fastest animals that run around and can run for long periods of time are the herbivores, the ones that eat grass, the antelopes, the gazelles. They can run long time very fast and long distances, right? The fast ones that can run fast but only a short while, after that they punch it, is the tigers, the lions, the leopards. They can sprint, but they lose energy very fast. So if you want stamina, you should behave like the herbivores. You should eat more vegetables, because these vegetables, when they are raw, gives you a lot of good enzymes. That's why in his food supplement, it says 80% raw, 20% processed food. Because when you cook your vegetable too much, yes, you are doing the right thing by eating the right thing, but you're eating it the wrong way. Understand? Okay. 6 reasons why high protein diets will harm your health. 1, toxin from meat breed cancer cells. A lot of these meat, they are filled with blood. Why? If the blood is removed,